Why in many Eastern countries, particularly across Asia, is fair or white skin idealized as a symbol of beauty, purity, and social status? Well, this morning when I woke up, I was trying to come up with an idea for the day, trying to put together some things to do, maybe what could I make a video about, and so on. And I was just sitting on the couch doing just that, basically nothing. And my fiance was washing her face in the bathroom, and out of curiosity, I was kind of like, what type of soap is she using? So I went and I grabbed the bottle and I looked at it, and she was using kind of an acne solution soap, a soap that is designed to kind of specifically go and fight acne, right? So these soaps are all around the world, super popular. America, Asia, everywhere has some sort of acne solution soap. But it was a little concerning because I noticed that the soap said that it had whitening agents in it. It had ingredients specifically to promote the lightening of skin. So why are you using an acne soap to clean your face, but you're also throwing other harmful chemicals at your face that could potentially have bad side effects in the long run? That was when I decided I wanted to dig into this, learn more about it, try to figure out why this is pushed so hard over here in these countries. So let's go try and figure this out. For generations in Thailand and many parts of Asia, a preference for white or lighter skin is influenced by a mix of historical, cultural, social, and economic factors. Traditionally, lighter skin was associated with the upper class who stayed indoors, while darker skin was linked to outdoor labor and a lower socioeconomic status. This class-based distinction still influences beauty to this day. In addition, Thai media often promotes lighter-skinned models and celebrities as a standard of beauty. Many advertisements emphasize skin lightening products, reinforcing the notion that lighter skin is more desirable. I mean, think of it like this. Let's say that you are anywhere from the age of 8 years old to 25 years old, even 30 years old. You know, you're young, and your celebrity, your favorite person that you just idolize is on an advertisement promoting a skin lightening product to make you lighter, whiter, and brighter and better. You know, at least that's kind of the whole sale point of this. And what do you think that this younger person is going to do when the person that they idolize is telling them, if you want to be like me, buy this product? So behind me here is a 7-Eleven, and these happen to be one of the more popular just general convenience stores here in Thailand and in many other parts of Asia. But when you go into these places, and let's say that you just wanted normal sunscreen, finding one is difficult. You're gonna notice that a large majority of the products, from face washes, lotions, sunscreens, and stuff like that, are going to contain whitening products in them. So I went to 7-Eleven the other day when I was on a walk, and I just wanted sunscreen because I was getting a lot of exposure and whatever. So I went into 7-Eleven, looked through their sunscreen options. They had no sunscreen that didn't have whitening solutions in it. And obviously I don't want a whitening solution. I'm not really interested in using those products for any reason, and like, it's not my goal. So I don't want any products on me that I don't know anything about, and you know, I don't know about the long-term effects at that time. I just wanted a normal sunscreen. I ended up having to go to a larger place, Big C, to find a sunscreen that didn't have the whitening products in it. Some of the main drugs of concern in skin lightening products are mercury derivatives, hydroquinone, and corticosteroids. The use of these depigmenting agents can be followed by a variety of adverse effects with very serious and sometimes fatal complications, and is currently an emerging health concern in many countries. Now, do I think that all of these products on the market are going to cause detrimental long-term effects, potentially death? No, I don't think so. I think on average, you grab something off the shelf, you're probably going to be fine. It's more likely that you're going to run into a short-term problem like maybe skin rashes or like an allergic reaction of some sort to some of the products used. I think every once in a while, potentially, there may be a product out there that doesn't meet health requirements. I think on average, the majority of people are going to be fine in most situations. Maybe you're going to run into more issues when you start to dive deeper into some of those extensive skin treatments that you go to see a specialist about. But how is that really any different than somebody that wants to go do a skin peel? A lot of these, skin treatments trying to change your appearance can have negative long-term effects. I think most of the over-the-counter things like sunscreens with lightening agents in them and like stuff like that, I think typically are going to be fine. So there's people out there that say that Western culture has had a bit of an influence on this, but this is hard for me to understand. I actually originally came from America, and I've been here for a while now. But when I was in America, it was completely opposite of the way that it is here. As people are here, they try to cover up from the sun. They want lighter skin. But in America, for example, in other Western parts of the world, they want to be tan. They want to lay in the sun. They want to get darker. So in general, I mean, the way that people in the West and the way that the people in the East view beauty and, the average person, what they think beautiful is completely opposite. I think the lightening of skin thing has been around for a long time. I've read about it, and it's not something that just all of a sudden popped up 3 weeks ago. This has been around for a while. If you've ever been to South Korea and even places like Japan, you see this practice even more so than you do here. I think it's gonna be around for a while, but as to whether people choose to use skin lightening products or they just are natural, that's up to everybody on their own to make that decision. The most important thing is to be happy with the way that you look. Don't bring yourself down. You can try to be better and better on a daily basis, up your game, do better at this and do better at that, but don't defame yourself and make yourself feel bad when you look in the mirror, because you're never going to be happy. It's almost like a bodybuilder, like a guy that wants big muscles. He wants to just be absolutely jacked, and he'll never be big enough, and he'll never be lean enough. His biceps will never peak enough. And maybe somebody that wants to lose weight and they have maybe a mental health condition where they're not even eating anymore because they're never skinny enough. I feel like the lightening of skin could potentially turn into something like that, where it becomes an addiction and people take it too far, and that's when you're going to run into major consequences. I was reading online as to potentially why people would do this, other than cultural and history and other countries potentially kind of influencing this. And it said that it's kind of like a trend where if you're not doing this, you're irrelevant. You're not modern, you're not cool, you're not hip. You're just old school, you're dated. Just like an old iPhone. You're not cool anymore. So yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, everyone just needs to do what they want to do, and everyone just needs to try to learn to be happy with the way they look and improve themselves gradually over time in any way that they want to in life, but don't take things too far, and just enjoy everything that you have now. If you have any more information about other things that would potentially influence this, or any information in general about the process or anything, post it in the comments section down below. I'm curious to learn more. I read up quite a bit online about this. But besides that, hit that subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell. Videos to come. We're going to be traveling soon and trying to get out of Thailand for a little while. We have a couple places in mind, including Laos, obviously, as we'll be going there for some work, as well as the Philippines and Vietnam and Nepal. We're going to try to get around as much as possible. and explore and try some new things. It's been a while since I've gone out and done new things. I've just been hanging out here and living my life, but I do want to go out and make some content around the world. So a lot to come. I'm super excited for that. So stay tuned. Lots of good content to come, and I'm only going to try to improve. But until then, thanks again for watching. I will see you next time. Ta-ta.